And it's time to unwrap Las Vegas right here on VANR. That's VegasAllNetRadio.com, which means it's time for Vegas Unwrapped. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now, without further ado, here are your hosts, Aaron Phillips and Ricky Cash.
Welcome, everybody. This is Ricky Cash from Vegas Unwrapped. I'm here tonight. Beautiful, beautiful May evening in Las Vegas, along with my partner, JPEG. And wait a minute. There is a sighting here in the studio.
What's that over in the corner?
I'm back.
Welcome back, Aaron.
Did you miss me?
We're in deep poo-poo now.
Did you miss me?
I'm sitting in my old regular seat.
I know.
I feel good here.
I see it. Yes, it would look strange on the video to see you sitting in my corner.
So where'd you get that hat?
Well, this hat is fresh from the campus of Towson University. As many of you know, I was on the road for 16 days, attending my twin daughters' college graduations, one in North Carolina, Winston-Salem University of North Carolina School of the Arts, and then trudged my way to Atlanta to drop off her car with all of her stuff. That's the Sound Doctor. And then from there, traveled all the way up to Baltimore, to Towson University, the home of the Towson Tigers, where Radar graduated last Wednesday. And they had the 20% off sale, year-end sales in the bookstores. So I raided them, came home with a few more hats, some more T-shirts. Cool. So I'll tell you what.
His wife threatened him, JPEG.
Yeah.
She did.
I heard that.
You heard that?
I heard that, yeah.
He brought another hat home.
Meantime, I came home with 3 new ones.
It was curtains.
That's right. One of them I had to buy under duress because Thursday last week, the day after Radar's graduation, she got tickets to the Baltimore Orioles game at Camden Yards down there. And the weather for her graduation the day before was ideal.
Chamber of Commerce. Huh?
I mean, yeah, a little breezy, but the sun was out, not a cloud in the sky. It was absolutely gorgeous. We wake up Thursday, it's raining, high of like 60 degrees. It's like football weather.
Yeah.
So we get to the stadium, and then all of a sudden the skies just opened up. We left in the 3rd inning right before they brought the tarp out to delay the game about 2 hours, because when I got back to the hotel about 2 hours later, they were in the 4th inning. So unfortunately, that was the only bad event other than being with all the family and everything was really nice and whatnot. So, but I'm glad to be back. Too much has gone on. While I was away and whatnot, but it's all good. I'm back, ready to rock and roll.
Well, we kind of held the fort. We had some great show hosts.
You did.
That were nice enough to join JPEG, Cammy, and Bobcat and myself. Mm-hmm. We actually had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
We didn't quite do the normal Vegas Unwrapped kind of stuff.
That's okay.
Because, with this new ownership that you guys talked me into, we decided that we were going to make it. Well, you should see the looks I'm getting. Definitely, I want you to look tomorrow, and this is up on YouTube to see the looks. Holy,
absolutely.
Anyway,
it's good to be back,
and it's good to have you back.
And I'll tell you what, it was a great idea to have show hosts subbing over the 3 weeks. You had Koji, you had Corey Taylor here. You had Guy Dawson. You had the Commander was here.
Great.
Joe and Heidi. And who else was?
The gals from...
and On Pit Road Racing. The ladies of On Pit Road Racing.
So we had a real different group each week.
Every hour.
Yeah, it seemed... And it went fast, too.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
The shows went quick. And, Bobcat and Cammy and JPEG and I, we held down that fort. Mm-hmm. And, I think you get a better...
And we're still in business.
And we get a better appreciation of how much work you do in terms of putting this thing together and making sure that we stay on the straight and narrow, as they say. So
he's got to put at least every single week 5 or 6 minutes into putting this.
Oh, absolutely, at least, absolutely. Well, the good thing is like with our guest today, and we'll announce him here in a minute or two, unless people have read our Facebook page. The nice thing is this got booked a month ago,
right? Yep.
And that's the right way you book guests, right, Monique? We have guests here in the studio. Monique and her daughter Angelique is sitting here with us, and people may recognize Monique from doing a show here in the past, and she's here visiting us. Maybe we'll get her back on the air in the middle of June.
We're going to try.
But, if you schedule your guests in advance, right? You had guests on your show, right? It makes it easier, right? So that's what you got to do, right?
Totally.
You know, otherwise he would have had nothing but strippers in here if I didn't plan guests. Are you kidding? Sorry, Angelique, I didn't mean to say that.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We'll get by.
But it's all good. It's all good. So we want to welcome you to this week's show. This is the last show for May.
Well, it's interesting because JPEG and I were just talking about it. You remember what it was like the last show for April?
No, that seems so long ago.
Well, let me remind you.
Go ahead.
That was the night before the signing.
Oh.
And we were still not quite there yet.
Tomorrow the world is ending.
And everybody was sitting on the edge of their seats, including our famous board operator.
You talk about the 13th hour of deals.
Are you kidding me?
But
Anyway.
you know,
That's what made it fun.
All right, so
I don't know if fun is the right word, but we all went drinking right after that on Friday. I know that much.
Aaron, I'm sure you have a lot of shout-outs tonight from all the relatives, especially from Tucson. Don't you have some shout-outs from Tucson
Oh,
tonight?
I got shout-outs, okay? I just don't know if I want to put them on the air. But
Inside
We
joke,
have two young
folks.
ladies in the
Inside
studio.
that's why
Let's not.
that's why I'm going to refrain from.
Thank you.
But
there are some people.
yeah, look, you know, it was a lot of fun to be down there. Got to meet all the friends of both Radars and the Sound Doctor and all the people that they've known. And yeah, I mean, it was good. It was a lot of fun, and got to meet some of the friends. And
Well, we were really loose in mentioning Stacy and Alyssa.
That's okay.
No,
That's
I mean,
okay.
we had fun with that.
Yes.
Because we used the nicknames, but of course, we also wanted to have a good time.
Every once in a while, the real stuff does come out.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
Our
But,
alter ego.
That's
So how are the dogs when you got back?
the dogs were tremendous. Well, Robin walked in right before me into the house, and of course they ran to her like
Mommy's
butter.
home.
Mommy's home, and then I trailed in a few minutes after her with some bags, and
And they went hiding.
no, the dog, they actually came running up to me.
Like, oh yeah, he's
That's right.
back
Oh,
with
he's
you.
back.
Back too?
That's
you
right.
mean she
Back.
brought him
That's-
back? She didn't dump him off in Chesapeake Bay?
Exactly. But no, everything went. And here's the funny thing: I don't know if I shared the story with you, but the gal who stayed at our house the day of Radar's. Did I tell you the story?
Yeah.
Radar's graduation morning, she gives us a call and says she got locked out of the bedroom.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Number one, I'm in that house almost 3 years. I've never locked the door handle. It's a toggle switch.
Yeah.
But usually we sleep with the door open. Now that it's just Robin and I in the house, I mean, I don't close the door anymore. So she calls us. She said, so we thought it was the kind of lock where you have the Allen wrench hole in the front.
Yeah,
Like
we-
for the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
The kind that you
Right.
really think you might be able to open with those two
With
things
a
that they
paper
do on
clip.
TV.
All right, exactly.
Right?
Like MacGyver almost, you know. So she Robin asks her, says, "What kind of handle is it?" So the girl replies back. She says, "It's a golden handle." Like that's going to help us, you know. So it's like, all right, you got two choices: either break down the door and we'll deal with it when we get home, or if the screws are on the outside, because sometimes the screws to the collar are on the inside, just unscrew it, take it apart, and we'll deal with that too. For $20, I'll go buy a new handle. So we get home with Saturday, and in the middle of the 2 feet high pile of mail I had, right, and all the other stuff that came to the house, there's a little note next to two little silver keys. It says, "Here are the keys to your new bedroom door handle." They were kind enough. They went out, replaced the door handle, and put
that
it in.
was
So
nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So other than that, it was great, and put 2,000 miles on the rental car, and I got a Ford Escort. It was Escape rather. Ford Escape.
Nice.
Very nice.
Hey,
I wanna-
some shout-outs.
Yes. Go.
Because I want to make sure we get it before the break, because you know who's coming on the air.
Yes, Richard Hatch. Actor Richard Hatch is coming on to join us if we can get him on Skype. We're working on getting him on there. He called in just before. He's there? Excellent. So Mr.
I will have him ready at the break soon.
All right.
Very
That is
nice.
the tones of
He's
Mr.
a
Bobcat.
trooper. Richard Hatch would not let us down.
No, he would not.
He's
Not Apollo.
Not
No,
Apollo.
not Apollo. By the way, I've given Mr. Cash one question about Battlestar Galactica to nerd out on, and that's it. After that, it's all new stuff.
About
Okay.
what
All right.
Richard's doing.
So
All right,
anyway,
How
so
many
that's,
do I get?
half.
Listen,
Half one.
I my two boys love that show.
Oh, sure.
I mean, they played Apollo and Starbuck all the time. I mean,
I was
were-
always the Cylon. I couldn't understand why.
Yeah, I can.
Probably because of the way I walk, right?
Yeah, it's the eye.
Ah, thank you. Anyway,
So what's your shout outs?
I got
on that note?
Michael Graf had surgery
Oh, he
on his
did?
shoulder this week.
Okay.
And he wound
Rotator
up,
cuff?
But he wound up spending 2 days in the intensive care unit.
Why?
Because there was complications.
Oh, no.
But he's back at home now, and Lois is the nurse, and they're doing real well. They went to the doctor today, and they said everything structurally is fine, and so they're getting on with the recovery. So I want to wish them a happy recovery.
Absolutely,
And,
from all of us.
And then, of course, heading further south is our buddy from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, Brandy.
Brandy,
Yeah.
I hope you are not involved in any of those horrific storms they're having down south in Texas and Mississippi, Alabama. Our hearts go out, hearts and thoughts and prayers from all of us here in Vegas Unwrapped to all those people that have been caught in the floods and the tornadoes and everything else that's really, really going bad. And then, of course, out here, I got the family. Cammie's with Steph and the girls tonight. So hi, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And hi, Kyrie and Gianna and Braylon. And boy, oh boy, my daughter Stephanie doing really well. She got Dean's List in school. And between that and raising the monsters, she's doing a great job. So proud. Oh, and Memorial Day, Jamie moved into her new house.
Oh, she did?
Yep. And
Speaking of Memorial Day, we got it. It's belated as it is, but we got to wish everybody. Hope everybody had a nice Memorial Day,
safe and sound,
and
too.
honor those who served, as our good man here, JPEG, has done in the past,
right?
And is still serving,
yes,
in many ways. We remember the fallen as well as those who are still around who did what they did for us to do what we do on a daily basis. So
no question
we tip
about
our
it.
cats to us. By the way,
and I hate it that it's just. I think we need to do that. Memorial Day, Veterans Day, but the fact of the matter is that you must keep those people who have made this
Absolutely.
place safe for us in your hearts on a daily basis.
Absolutely,
right?
No question.
I have a shout out.
Go ahead.
Okay, Sean, hang in there, man. Couple more minutes and Apollo will be here.
Bobcat, what's up in your world, buddy?
I'm just rocking and rolling, my friends.
Now, you seemed unscathed after 3 weeks of my absence. You're here to do our show. Did they treat you okay, or did you have to increase the alcohol intake after each Thursday night?
First thing I want to know out of you guys is this. This deal was signed, and I wasn't asked to go drinking. I didn't like that at all. I'm your former president, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good week there with everybody, and I've got the Battlestar. This Skype thing, I'm telling you, I just don't.
Well, part of the problem is that our Skype thing there doesn't pick up on the audio. It's or the visual as well. So we that's something that's on the to-do list to check out. And
I am
fix,
working on that as we speak.
All right, there you go. By the way, our fan page on Facebook, Vegas Unwrapped Internet Radio, we were at 1,745. We exploded over the last couple of days with 20 new fans. And want to thank Mrs. Bobcat for handling our social media. A lot of good stories she's posting on our Vegas Unwrapped fan page. And, by all means, please go out there.
And check out the Vegas All Net Radio.
I was just going to say,
right?
Vegas All Net Radio is the other Facebook page.
Aaron, I can't keep track of all this stuff now.
I can't get you to remember glasses
Did you
for
guys
crying
see
out loud.
this earlier?
Yeah?
We are going to explode with listeners after tonight.
Why is that?
Because we were mentioned on Richard Hatch's Battlestar Galactica fan page.
That's correct. A lot of his folks picked it up, and we want to thank them
I'm telling you,
All right,
man.
let's get to break so we can talk to Rick.
Yeah, let's
He's
come on.
geeking
Let's wrap
out.
this crap up.
All right,
and let's
you're
get
listening to
the meat
Vegas
of it.
Unwrapped with Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, JPEG behind, well, sort of in front of behind the camera. Bobcat on the board. You, the listener, 702-483-4444. And the moment Mr. Cash has been waiting for. On the other side of the break, actor Richard Hatch joins us right here. All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash. The cast and crew is here. We have some guests in studio that we'll put them on the mic shortly. But now joining us, do I dare say parts unknown since he's sitting on Skype? We don't know where he's coming from, but he's coming from the Skype world. It is our pleasure to welcome actor and someone we spoke to about, 6-7 weeks ago regarding Comic-Con at Sea, and we'll talk about that. Mr. Richard Hatch joins us here on Vegas Unwrapped. Richard, how are you, sir? Aaron Phillips here.
Hey, how are you? It's good to hear from you. I guess we're not visual, huh? I can actually take off the suit and tie?
Yeah, well, we could see you. You can't see us. So put your pajama top back on, would you please?
And our listeners
That's
can't
not
see
fair.
And our listeners can't see you either. So only me and my board op actually have the angle on Skype to see us. So you're good.
Oh, cool. I'm going to open my window then so I can have a nice view as the sun goes down.
Now,
Okay,
are you in Cali right now?
Cool. What?
Where are you, in California?
I'm in Skype World.
What?
Yes. You've never been to Skype World, huh?
They obviously have the same time zone as we do, obviously.
It's called Virtual World. You know, it's like the Matrix.
There you go.
I am the one.
By the way, happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Happy
that.
birthday from all of us. We'll do them later in our birthday segment.
Yeah, we will.
But you already know the answer then.
Yes, I do.
All right, listen.
I hear it in 7 languages. Okay? 7 languages.
I know you got a lot on your plate, but I've given Mr. Cash the authority to ask you only one Battlestar Galactica question, and that before he totally nerds out, so we can get to everything else that I know you have on your plate that you want to talk about. So, Mr. Cash, have at it, sir.
Captain Apollo, how are you?
Boy, Captain Apollo. That sounds like such a, I don't know. It takes me back to a memory I thought I got rid of in my frontal lobe lobotomy operation. But thank you for putting that back in my hard drive. Thank you.
No problem. Richard, let me ask you this. You know, I was a big fan of Bonanza. And your captain,
Lauren Green.
Yeah, Lauren Green. And out of curiosity, because he played your dad, as well as the head honcho there. What was he like to work with, and what type of man was he?
Oh, he was horrible. He hated everybody. Never talked to anybody. Never took showers. It was horrible. You have no idea. Being out on the Ponderosa all those years.
Oh, he must have stunk like crazy.
He was still wearing the same underwear.
Oh, no.
It was absolutely disgusting. No, he was actually probably one of the most wonderful human beings I ever met in my life. Seriously, he was everything you loved about him in Bonanza as the great white hope or the great white father. Of that clan. He was just one of the most loving, caring, down-to-earth people. He would talk to anybody. He used to come to my Christmas parties and spend the whole night talking to people from all over the world. He didn't care who you were, how old you were, from what background, nationality, country. He was one of the most caring, down-to-earth, genuine human beings of all time.
When you finished the first run of Battlestar, did you think that they were ever going to put another one together?
Well, I was hoping because I spent 10 years trying to promote a new Battlestar Galactica series. I always promote and support the kinds of programming that I love, and I love quality sci-fi. And I thought Battlestar really deserved a second chance because, back in the day, ABC didn't realize what they had.
Oh, yeah.
And the audience was huge. 65 million people watched it, but back then the budget was so high because they didn't quite know how to make a space show back then. They didn't have the technology. Everything just cost way too much. And so I tried to inspire a revival, get them to bring it back. And eventually, Universal Sci-Fi Channel decided to do that, but they did decide on a reimagined version, which, by the way, I ended up loving and getting to be on for 5 years. So it was, I thought it was one of the probably best written, best acted sci-fi shows in history. And as much as I love the original, as an actor, this new show was absolutely extraordinary. The complexity of the characters, the storylines. It certainly wasn't a show the whole family could sit down and watch because it was a little bit too provocative, too edgy. Tackled a lot of really kind of cutting-edge issues, but it certainly was a show for all time. And I'm so happy to have been part of 2 great shows, the original and this reimagined version.
Well, I'm sorry, John. You played the activist Tom Zarek in the second one, and again, you're right. That was edgy. It was political. Did you like the character? Did he resemble you?
Oh my God, I love Tom Zarek. In fact, I've always been the provocateur. I've always been the revolutionary, and it's not even about what you believe. I've always challenged the status quo. I look at education, I look at politics, I look at everything, and I don't know about you, but it pisses me off. It's like can't believe
you're
we
my new
allow
hero, Mr. Hatch.
people to break all these rules, to abuse, people and misuse people. But hate to say it, it has to do with people not being empowered enough, not making their governments and leaders accountable. And I could speak on that forever. But again, I was very much into the Tom Zarek mode, and all I can tell you is it was one of my most favorite characters of all time.
Well, you almost made it to the top. You made it to vice president.
Hey, I made it to the presidency, but they ripped it out of my hand legally. Those crooks, Adama and Rosalind.
That's right.
I think he's going to have to go back into therapy again.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like.
I didn't hear any bitterness
all of
there.
My trauma. I'm going to have to go process for a while. Excuse me, I've got a couple of tears coming down. Let me wipe those off. Okay, I'm all right. I'm back. Okay, go ahead. Hit me with your next shot.
What a marvelous career you've had. I mean, yeah, obviously the stuff that most people know about, but the other television stuff, Streets of San Francisco, All My Children, and then on to the Broadway movies that you were in. I mean, the list is, if Wikipedia is correct, right? You've had yourself one heck of a diverse career.
Yeah. I've been very fortunate. Seriously, I've been in this business 50 years.
Wow.
And had no idea that I would ever have a career. I went into an acting class, not having a clue what I was doing there. Somebody said I should go try it out, and honestly, it turned into a what can I say? A life, a career. It turned into a passion, turned into something I never expected in my entire life. It really took me all over the world, introduced me to some of the most amazing, talented, gifted human beings in the world, and it's taught me so much about life, about people, and I'm what can I say? I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm able to now take it to a whole new level, where I can produce, direct, write. I'm acting, and I'm teaching and lecturing all over the country on how people can actually unlock and unleash and take their talents to the next level. So it's been an amazing career for me.
Did you think that all of your experiences in acting would take you to the point of being now a teacher of acting? I mean, did you really think that after all these years, you said you've been in the industry for 50 years, that now you'd be a hit on the talk circuit for conventions, you're doing the workshops and all that stuff? Did you expect that kind of direction after your career, through your career?
Well, I started teaching like way back in Battlestar days. I've always been teaching and lecturing and doing workshops. It's always been part of my life. But at the very earliest times, I was terrified of getting up in front of a room like just about everybody else. I was terrified of getting up and teaching. But my girlfriend back in the day, going to UCLA, said, "Have you ever thought about coming over to UCLA Extension and teaching a class?" And I said, "No." She said, "Well, why not try it?" And I said, "Okay." I said, "Let's go try that." And I remember writing up copious notes for this 3-hour acting class at UCLA, and about 20 minutes into the class, I had gone through all my notes, and I realized I now had to wing it, and I was absolutely terrified. And then I made the discovery of my life that I actually had something to say. In fact, from the moment I actually opened my mouth and started talking, I realized I was going to need help to stop talking. I had so much to say, so much, insight and information from everything I had gone through, because I got to tell you, it wasn't easy for me. I struggled through a lot of stuff in my childhood to get to a point where I could actually even communicate in a way that people could understand, to get up and act, perform in front of people, lecture, all those things. Somebody would have looked at me and said, "That's impossible." It's like getting out of a wheelchair and walking after you've been crippled. I was that messed up. And I had a mission. I was really dedicated to finding a way out of the abyss, and I created a career. So I kind of, and that career goes on. I mean, I'm writing, directing, teaching. Mm-hmm. I'm doing it all, which is amazing for me. And I teach what I learned the hard way. I really share every insight, every piece of wisdom, everything I learned about how you can go out there move through all the walls and blocks, insecurities, fears, everything that stops people, how to go out there and really find that really powerful level of success. And it's something that I wish I had learned in school. I wish everybody learned it in school. We don't learn how to succeed, and that's another problem with education. We do not learn how to be successful in school. It does not prepare you for life. So I would homeschool my kid. I really would. I wouldn't send them to most of the schools around, even though there's certainly some good teachers, but the programs and the way of teaching is still, for me, archaic. It's like another time in history. It needs to update itself, a little bit like Disneyland. As much as I love Disneyland, the technology needs to be upgraded.
Right.
Mr. Hatch, John Stiles here, and everything that I've seen you in, every character that you've played, you have really made me believe that you were that character. How do you accomplish that? And how do you get yourself into making those characters so believable?
Well, first of all, the first step is acting is not an escape. Many people that really don't like themselves, don't love themselves, they like to jump into some kind of a character to get away from themselves. But when you're running away from yourself, you disconnect, if you want to call it, from your imagination, your creativity, your power base. I find that when you've learned, which is what I learned in my first acting class, how to come home, step back inside yourself, embrace who you are, forgive who you are, really ground yourself in who and what you are, and learn how to use this amazing instrument we've all been blessed with. And then the next step is using this powerful imagination to be able to build a bridge from where you are to where this character is living. And what I've discovered with characters or anybody else is that, at the end of the day, if you reduce everybody's life down to its common denominator, we all have the same kind of fears, insecurities, things we want to go after, things we want to accomplish. If you translate the language and you get rid of some of the metaphors that are different, you start to realize that we all, in a sense, are on a similar journey, and you can find a connecting point to that character, even though he may speak differently, he may have a different syntax, uses different words, metaphors, dresses different, walks different, and yet underneath all of it, there are things you can connect to, that you can relate to, and you can allow yourself to use not only your imagination to explore hypothetical possibilities, but you're able to also use a lot of your own life experience. So I use all of that, and I teach actors how to step out of their head and step into that more intuitive, that more powerful place inside of you, where you can reach a level of extraordinary work that you really can't explain. It's just part of who we are. It's the talent that all of us have in various ways, but learning how to unlock it, how to unleash it, how to connect to it, that's the gift. And I take people through a lot of exercises to kind of free their inhibitions, free themselves so that they can have the courage and the strength to go into those deep places that most people will avoid, with any amount of money, self-medication. Who wants to experience pain? But actors have to be able to go through all of it. One side of the coin, you feel the pain. The other side is joy. You got to be able to feel the full range of emotions and not be afraid of what you feel. And most people are terrified of their feelings, which is why intimacy is so hard, why relationships don't work, and why so many marriages don't work. So acting for me is a metaphor for life. It's a spiritual process, and through all the therapies I went through, it's probably the best form of therapy that I ever had in my life, and yet it turned into an art, turned into a craft, and it turned into a, what do you want to call it, a life path for me that's taken me, like I said, places I never dreamt I would go.
I just want to let our
Brilliant,
audience. I just want to let our audience know you're listening to actor Richard Hatch here on Vegas All Net Radio and Vegas Unwrapped with Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, JPEG, Bobcat, and the crew. Just spending time with the great actor Richard Hatch.
Richard,
I want to be an actor now.
I thought you were.
You just inspired me.
Well, it's a lot like for us. I mean, he talks about
Right.
acting as
performing.
parallel, but we're performing. And for me, when that studio door closes and we're in this studio for 2 hours once a week, it's my therapy. It's my
Yeah.
my way
and that's true. but-
exactly.
yeah, but he takes
I
it to
wanna
another
see-
Oh,
level.
of course, I'm not comparing what.
See
Yeah,
pictures
no.
of what goes on in there.
Oh no, you don't. It's messy.
Well, you go to YouTube, you can see it
That's
later.
right. You
Yeah.
can see us
Okay.
later.
Richard, getting back on track here. No, seriously, you've taught. I would imagine thousands and thousands of actors or people that want to become actors over the years. Any students that we might have heard of?
I wouldn't. I don't know. I teach the vast majority of the teaching that I've done. A lot of teachers here have been teaching in Hollywood. Teaching is their full-time thing. They teach 2, 3, 4 classes a week. I have traveled all over the country because I was working all the time. I would get invited to colleges, universities, high schools. I would go in and do weekend seminars for the film departments, for the acting departments. I was always teaching all over the place like that. It's only been in the past, I would say, year that I've actually started a ongoing acting class, even though I do travel still and I'm still working quite a bit. I just started really doing if you want to call it a more full, ongoing acting class. So like I said, I teach a process for life and for the theater and for movies, because for me the techniques are all the same, although it requires some a slightly different training when you're going to go on stage. But I've taught many people, and I've had many people come through that went on to be authors, directors, writers. But I'm terrible with names. I couldn't tell you who, what, or why. I really couldn't.
I want to mention that along with, as he's made director, actor, and all that stuff, he's also a published author. He's co-written 7 Battlestar Galactica novels as well as a Battlestar compendium, So Say We All. He's also working to finish his epic sci-fi novel, The Great War of Magellan. Where's that at right now? What's the status on that?
Well, what I've spent 15 years developing this labor of love, and it's an epic series. I'm so happy to see these series like Game of Thrones, which are these epic shows without commercial break, and where they do 10 to 12 episodes, and they're just prolific. They're like a movie every week, and that's exactly what Guam would be. So, in a sense, the industry has come to a point where I think this story could be told. I don't think it could be told in just a movie, but I am going to launch the first novel. I'm going to launch this coming year. I thought about doing a web series, a high-end web series to launch the novel. I have a game company I'm in negotiations with right now to do the Magellan game, and I'm looking for all the different ways. I'm going to do a series of graphic novels. I'm going to put all of this together, and then as I teach these days, you have to be proactive in this day and age, and you have to learn the business of the art. You can't just be the artist. You got to learn the business of the art, because most artists get abused, misused, and they don't really understand how it works, and unfortunately they get taken advantage of. And you have to really learn how to go out there and create your own success. You have to learn about how to raise money, how to prioritize, how to use the logistics of putting a project together, how to bring the right team together, how to get it done, finish it, how to get it out and position it out in the marketplace, how to sell it. You need to learn the whole arc of how you put these projects together, and most filmmakers never learn that. They learn how to roll the camera, they maybe learn how to write the script and edit, but they never learn the business of the art, and so many projects never see the light of day. So, I'm teaching not only actors to do that, but also filmmakers and writers how to stop waiting for other people to like you, love you, find your work interesting. You go out there and find a pathway. We live in a digital age where you can reach an audience, and if that audience likes what you have, they will spread the word. We are all connected online. So if enough people find you, I promise you the industry will come looking too, because they're looking for projects that resonate, that gain a fan base, that have a lot of people interested in it, and it's a great way to test the marketplace. And these Kickstarter campaigns and ways of raising money and having fans who could never participate in investing, because it costs way too much money. Now for $50, $100, $150, they can come in and support a project they believe in. And if enough people put in $100, you can raise millions of dollars. We just raised over $1 million for this new Star Trek indie film that my good friend Alec Peters is putting together.
I saw that. That's cool. And Mr. Hatch, John Stiles again, if you should
Yeah.
ever decide that you'd like to maybe adapt your novel to a radio serial series, we'd certainly love to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You know-
That's
the old
something-
time radio stuff. That's
right.
People used
Yeah.
to sit by their, in their living rooms and wait for the, what's the next episode.
Yeah.
Hey, I grew up listening to Gunsmoke on radio.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And
hey,
the shadow
Richard,
knows.
I got to ask you this. People your age, my age, which is the same thing, most people are slowing down. You seem to be speeding up. And obviously, it keeps you young. That's very
Well,
obvious.
I've learned something that most people, and I teach this as well because I do boot camps on life. But most people get old way too fast. Most people don't understand how the body works. They don't understand how nutrition works. They don't really understand how exercise works, and they don't understand how emotions and when people hold on, suppress, push stuff away, they don't deal with it. The tension, the stress they create in their body breaks down their body, breaks down their immune system. They don't understand how it all works, and they end up, like I said, getting old way, way too soon. I'm still playing basketball. I still climb trees. I'm still doing anything and everything that I've always done in my entire life, and I just turned 70. So what can I say?
Wow.
Richard, I want to speak. We're down to about 5 minutes left. I want to just mention: have you started packing for Comic-Con at Sea next month?
No, I haven't started packing yet. I'm going actually a couple of other places first. I'm going down to God, what's it called? I can't even think.
Oh, yeah, down there.
Where am I going? I've got so many events coming up. I've got I'm gone just about every single weekend for the next 2 to 3 months, and then I'm filming this. Actually, I'm going to film this Star Trek fan series back in New York in July, and then I'm filming XNR, this Star Trek groundbreaking Star Trek indie film with all amazing professionals, very well-known actors. They've never seen anything like it. It's a full-fledged film. It's not some copy or mimicking a Star Trek series. It's kind of a next evolution, if you want to call it, taking the Star Trek story to a whole new level. And I'm really feel blessed to be part of it. And then I'm putting this Guam thing together that I'm going to start filming, putting my film team together and go out and start filming episodes. So it's going to be a very, very busy next several months.
That is Axanar, right?
Yes.
I'm hooked. You got me.
Well,
I'm in.
if you need 3 aging, bald-headed, out-of-shape guys to fill in a few scenes, let us know.
No, absolutely. It, something. I'm
I
one
want
of
to be
these
a
people,
Ferengi.
I won't use the wrong people in the wrong roles, but if I see somebody that I think is right for something, or I feel like I can get something special and unique out of them, that's the person that I'll bring in and work with.
I'll be sending you my
headshots.
headshots.
I'm really good with casting, and I'm very good with actors, and I'm also very visual. I love the whole process of writing the script, putting it together, the casting process, the actual filming, the editing. I love all of it.
Comic-Con at Sea is June 14th through the 21st. You can get more information at comiconAtSea.com. And of course,
right.
for all the locations and all the events that Richard will be at, you can check out his website at richardhatch.com. You can check him out.
Barcelona, remember we're flying into
That's right, flying into Barcelona, and then the
we're
cruise
going through
starts
the
there.
Mediterranean. It's going to be a pretty amazing cruise.
Absolutely. Facebook.com/richard.hatch.actor. Of course, he's on Twitter at Thumbfighter, and of course, he's on the IMDb page, Richard Hatch. Mr. Cash, we're down to about a minute and a half. I will bequeath you the final question, sir.
Well, I'm
Because
also,
you're geeking out. I can see it.
I know. I'm
the
just
geek is just oozing out of your ears
well,
right now.
I'm loving it because Richard is also, besides Lon Green, worked with Jason Robards and Jack Palance and Susan Sarandon. I mean, these are the people that I grew up with as well. And, they're legends. And I can't imagine what it was like to be surrounded by those people and doing the things you did.
Say that one. For some reason, I was getting blipped here a whole bunch of information about Niagara Falls Comic Con, Hattiesburg, Enigma, all these conventions that I'm going to. So I'm just throwing them out here. So anyway, what did you just ask me? I'm sorry.
No, I said you've worked with people like Jason Robards and Susan Sarandon and Jack Palance. I was
God, he played my father.
I was
on
afraid of
Hatfield
him.
and McCoys. I played John C. Hatfield.
Yeah.
And boy, was that a terrifying shoot. That man, I love that man, but boy, nobody would even talk to him.
Right.
That guy looks like he would eat you up.
Yeah, really.
I just reading his bio here real quickly. There's another movie here that, as I'm reading the bio, never really associated with him until I read it here, because I remember watching the movie Dead Man's Curve, where he played Jan Berry and Jan the Jan and Dean story.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
love that. I knew Jan and Dean. I used to perform with them on stage, the Greek Theater,
wow.
down at Disneyland. I got a chance to go out and do so many incredible things. Like I said, I'm a singer. I write songs. I used to perform on All My Children.
Right.
And like that's part of why when I travel around, I go to different festivals like the film festival in Hattiesburg, and I do workshops down there for all the kids and young people down there. And I get a chance. I love it at conventions to do my acting, everything you ever wanted to know about film, the movie industry. I do all kinds of wonderful things, and I have amazing trailers, theatrical trailers and comic reels that I play at these conventions as well. So like I said, I get a chance to travel a lot of places, but I'm online and at Twitter, I'm online on Facebook, I'm online in so many different ways on these social networks, and I'm just about there every single day. So
You're
always
everywhere,
interacting with
dude.
people, and I'm going to be teaching online. I do Skype coaching, and I'm also going to be doing workshops online, virtual workshops all over the country.
Sign me up.
As we rip through another commercial break. Bobcat, you have something for Richard?
Mr. Hatch, good evening, sir, and thanks for joining us. And you brought this up now twice about All My Children.
Yes.
What number of husband were you to Susan Lucci?
Susan Lucci, back then we were the high school kids. We were all 17, seniors in high school, and we were the Romeo and Juliet, me and Tara. And Susan Lucci was the kind of the bad girl at school who was always trying to break us up. So this was before she got into marrying. She ended up marrying my real father on the show.
One more question from our guest here in studio. This is Monique. She has a question for you.
Hi,
Sure.
how are you?
Hi, how are
Yeah.
you?
I have a question to ask you. I know you get like a lot of fans, right?
Yeah.
How would a fan capture your attention, right, for you to actually meet them? What do they have to do? Like, is there a standard procedure with you? Do they have to start tweeting you, DM you? Like, what do you like in the fan so you can actually reach out and talk to them?
Well, I mean, I consider myself a fan. I love visionary sci-fi. I love fantasy. So when I go to conventions, I hang out with everybody. I go everywhere. I don't look at myself as a celebrity. I don't even like that word. I'm an artist. I'm an actor, writer, director. I'm an artist, a teacher. I hang out with everybody, and I'm just a human being. And I think because that's who I am and the way I am, most of the people I've talked to don't have a problem talking to me. And they, if a girl comes up to me and talks to me, and has something to say, we have an interesting conversation. I mean, I have nothing. I don't have an ego or a wall or an entourage or a whole bunch of thing around me. I'm a people person, and I love hanging out and having a good time like everybody, and having a good tequila, shot of tequila, a good strong ale. I enjoy and have a good time.
Well, Richard, this is the second time we've had the pleasure of chatting with you here on our show, and I just want to reiterate what I said last time, and that was very simply this. You're a gentleman. You're very easygoing. You're an easy guest for us to talk to and interview. I could see why the people, your public, your students, the convention, all that stuff, why they just are attracted to you, because you are an everyday guy. And I think in this day and age, that says an awful lot. Want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for spending time with us tonight. Hopefully we do it again in the future. And certainly when you come to Vegas, please let us know that you're coming in. We'd love to maybe do dinner with you and have you live in studio one Thursday night.
Or we'll stalk
listen,
you.
I would honestly love that, but I have to mention this really quick.
Sure.
The Film Festival South Film Expo. I'm going to be teaching at That's a Wrap Studios in Mississippi. It's called Festival South Film Expo. I'm going to be doing 2 acting workshops, and again, they're with the That's a Wrap acting studio. So I
Excellent.
had to advertise that because they asked me to. So
Yeah, no
there
problem.
you are. I
Not a
got it
problem
out.
at all. Anything,
Anytime you have stuff like that,
Richard,
please let us.
Taking your Viper?
I carry my Viper everywhere I go. Okay, it's always with me.
That sounds like a
And,
personal question,
and
if you ask
and
me.
sometimes I even use it.
Oh, jeez, Richard, if you have any events like that, any press releases, anything you got going on, please feel free to get it to us. We'll be happy to share it with our audience and across our station, and let our audience know what's going on.
and
I will absolutely do that. And by the way, I read your little sign here. It says the final frontier of free speech.
Right.
And I took that literally.
Okay, that's
So
great.
thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Richard, for joining us.
One final thing.
Go ahead.
That I have to say, Richard. This is John Stiles, and everything that you said about Lauren Green, we have heard about you.
Oh, wow. Well, I
That's-
wouldn't believe
that's
anything
true.
you hear about me.
Yeah, I know. I had to
No,
say
really.
that.
God, I wouldn't.
But
trust
thank
that
you, thank
Richard
you,
Hatch
thank
guy.
you.
I mean, wasn't he on Survivor? Didn't he win $1 million?
Oh, that's right.
Didn't he go to jail?
He was
that
also
guy?
He was arrested for tax evasion. I don't think you want that, Richard
Okay.
Hatch. And he was naked on TV, so not a legacy you want to follow. Richard, thank you again so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll be in touch down the line.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thanks for
Thank
having me
you.
on the show.
Take care.
The great Richard Hatch.
So say we all.
Yeah,
So say we all.
the great Richard Hatch joins us. What a just a
Was that
class
awesome?
gentleman.
The best.
Just very down to earth. I mean, you could see why fans love talking to this guy.
Listen, when we get done with the show,
Yep.
I'm going to find that online
The class,
stuff
the
that he's
workshop,
doing, the workshop.
It's
that
all
he's
it's
doing.
all in the bios.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm gonna-
we're a little behind schedule. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial or two, then come back with Monique, and then doing it with Styles probably after the top of the hour. So don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. You know, I'm kind of doing this. It's just like getting right back on the bike again.
Oh yeah.
Whereas on Tuesday, because I was in a reverse role with Mr. Cash, it was kind of hard it's kind of hard to get back into that little routine.
Yep.
So anyway, good to-
And he's back.
and he's back. Good to be back. Joining us in studio,
Who's joining us in the studio?
somebody who used to do a show here in Vegas All Net Radio. That
Really?
hopefully we will be hearing her tones sometime next month, getting started again.
That would be
It
cool.
would be cool. Miss Monique, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing very good. Get that right up in there. We thank you for coming into studio tonight and hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
You're very, what's the word I want to look for coming into the studio with us.
Brave.
Brave, that's the word. Thank you. I knew
Foolish.
I knew it was a word like that. Wait,
Insane.
yeah, wait till the second hour rolls around. You'll have to hear that on podcast. So tell our audience about the show that you did and the show that you're going to hopefully revitalize when you come back on the air.
Okay, well, the show is called Lip Speak with Monique Charles. Basically, Lip Speak is like it makes you stop and think. So I basically channeled it for the youth as well as people who did not know how the industry works.
Okay.
I mean, nothing happened to me in the industry. Everybody's always asking me, did that happen to you? And I'm like, no. I just seen a lot of scams. I've seen a lot of stuff happen to people, and I saw a lot of red flags. So I basically would tell the audience, like, for example, like I was telling you earlier, like a lot of models will go, well, the photographer wants me to go to their studio. And I'm like, okay, where's it based at? Oh, it's in their basement. And I'm like, that's not professional,
Whoa.
Or they'll be like, they want me to do a photo shoot, and he don't have equipment. He's not even licensed, and he wants me to do an oil. And I'm like, who's oiling it? Oh, he has his assistant. I'm like, no, you bring your assistant. There's like certain
Wow.
things,
Yeah.
So I was just like, you have to open up your eyes and like look and just do your research. I understand you want to get yourself out there, get exposure. It's not all about that because you don't want to be in the front page of a newspaper saying you're dead,
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to find your name in the obituaries.
So basically, it was like that, and the same thing with the artists, like going to studios, dropping their lyrics and being like, "Hold on, how come he's singing my song?"
Right.
Well, you gave him rights.
Right.
You went in his studio, you recorded. They were smart enough to tape it and re-record it. They got a trademark. You have to know certain things. I know
Right.
people don't have money, but there's little secrets in the industry you could do.
Okay.
So basically, the show was about that, letting them know what to do, what not to do, and hopefully bring some celebrities on so they can give same thing, like tricks and traits. So That's what I did. Then people started hearing about it, like the newspaper, like I was telling you. So I basically, started networking, meeting more people. So here I am again. So I'm ready to do it, take it to the next level.
Good.
And, it's more organized. I'm definitely aboard with it. So I just want to do the same thing, have it more structure, bring some more celebrities on so the viewers and listeners can actually hear their story. People who've been in that situation.
Sure.
Where they can be like, okay, this is what happened. Thank God nothing happened, you know?
Right. Absolutely.
It sounds to me like it's a very down to earth show. It's going to meet the needs of a lot of people because Ricky Cash gets on the air, or Aaron Phillips, JPEG, and we're the old guard, and to get your audience, your 16 to 25 audience. There's about as much chance for them listening to me as them going to sleep before 9 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? Whereas with somebody like you who sounds, acts, and delivers the message from the street, right?
Yeah, basically.
I love it.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
it. I mean, I think it's great, and I think it's going to appeal to a huge number of people, not just here in Las Vegas, but with the VANR and the internet and all the things that are happening here. This could be one big hit show, and you'll have all of our support. And we'll help you make it happen if we can. If we can, I mean, we're not going to touch any of your content.
No, I know.
You just go flying with that. But anything we can do to help you make it be successful, you got it.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it. Like right now, I have it on YouTube, and I do people say I'm kind of crazy. I'm just like letting them know. Like I basically do the same. Like I said, talk to people, and I get people from Japan or a lot of people from Atlanta, New York, East. A lot of people from the East Coast want to get known in Vegas. They think this is Hollywood, the thing, and it's not all like that.
Right.
Some people will like literally quit their jobs and come out here thinking that this is 1950 where they can get an apartment for like $20 and they can live. No, Vegas will kick you out real quick within 5 days, and you'll be evicted and you're back where you started.
That's right.
Just don't take the bus to get here, because once you get off that bus, you're already in trouble. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I see him hang out there.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you're right. This isn't Hollywood.
It's not. Like, my story was different. Like, when I came out here, literally, me and my daughter, I'm not going to lie, we only had like $200 from Cali. I didn't know how I was going to make it, but I had my credit cards. I had that vision. I knew my goals. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a job. I planted that in me, and of course I got a job because I was staying at hotels, motels, and my credit card was going higher, interest was going higher, got my apartment. But I don't recommend that for anybody because that was my story. I didn't want to go back and be like, okay, I failed. Just like my pride gets me a lot. So I stayed out here. Even though I'm like, okay, there's so much hurdles. Like, I want to go back. I'm not going to go back, because my daughter wants to be an actress. She wants to go to college in Cali. And if I know I go back on that bus to New York, I'm not coming back out here. It's done. So, like, basically, I honestly think this will bring a new avenue to the people in this radio station. It'll bring more, not urban, but just people knowing that this is comfortable, mellow, people that know that it's not all about business. It's about, people that care,
Well, we look forward to having you part of the Vegas All-Net Radio. Man, it's been a long day.
Go back east.
It's be nice to have you part of the crew. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and I like the edge.
Oh, absolutely.
Monique brings. I mean,
Absolutely.
she brings an edge, which is
No question.
which is very, well, dare I say, refreshing.
Dare you say it?
Dare
You
I
said
say?
it. You said it.
All
So
right, good job.
thank you for stopping in. We look forward to working with you. And
Thank you.
like we said earlier, just we'll connect again next week.
Oh, definitely.
And we'll get everything in place. And we're targeting the middle of June to get you back on the air, right?
Yep.
And the audience, I know, will be excited to hear it.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it so much. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's all ours. Thank you,
Thank
Monique.
you.
We appreciate it. All right, hour number 1 in the books. Couldn't have thought a better way to end hour number 1 than with
That was
Monique.
pretty good. We're going to start it off in hour number 2.
We're doing it with Styles.
Styles, and I have an inside track on this that we have a special guest in studio.
No way.
Yes.
Yes, he's a little stiff.
He's a stiff guy.
Little stiff.
I hate stiff
But
guests.
he's a guest that's coming in.
Oh, boy.
To do it with Styles.
Oh, boy.
It's got to be tough to beat last week. Alyssa and Stacy got
I
their
know.
awards.
I know. Are they getting certificates?
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, sure.
Am I taking them home?
Not tonight.
No.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? What are you special? Yeah.
Somebody stole my printer.
It's a network printer now. You can print to it.
I'll print it at home.
Vegas Unwrapped, hour number 2, around the corner. Oh, buckle down, folks. We'll be back.
Stand by.
Views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of Vegas AllNet Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.
All right, welcome to hour number 2, Vegas Unwrapped. Aaron Phillips, Ricky Cash, JPEG, Bobcat, the all-new Vegas AllNet Radio. Best shows, most variety, the new Vegas AllNet Radio.
Wow.
.com.
By the way, we had a...
Hey,
we
that
had-
would be cool. We can use Peanut.
Use Peanut? That would be funny. By the way, John Lindquist stopped in the studio today. Said hello.
Voice.
Big bad
Voice.
John.
Vegas
And,
AllNet Radio.
Did us a favor, and I haven't heard it yet, but he recorded a new drop for us. So hopefully Ryan's going to clean that up and get that ready for us. It's one of these things we're going to play every hour in the top of the hour to remind everybody about the new Vegas AllNet Radio. All right. It is that time
Again?
again.
Didn't we just do this last week?
I think so.
Okay.
And the week before.
It's time.
And the week before.
It's time for Do It.
Told you it was time.
You've either got or you haven't got style.
If you got it, you stand out a mile. Got or you haven't got class.
How it draws the applause of the masses. You've either got or you haven't got.
Got or you haven't got.
Got or you haven't got style.
We should have a contest. Give away something.
Okay.
If people can name every person that just sang in that song.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I could
I
do
knew
it.
most of them.
None of us would be eligible.
Of
Oh,
course.
okay.
All right, Mr. Styles,
Hey, guess
take it
what?
away. What?
We have an in-studio
I
Doing
see.
It with Styles award.
see that.
We have the most interesting man in the world.
I don't know why
is
he's not
getting
sitting.
the Doing It with Styles award.
Yes.
Well, if he speaks, we have to pay him.
Oh, I see. Because he's a SAG.
Yeah.
He's a member of
Yeah.
SAG.
So the only way we could get him in the studio is if he didn't speak.
Gotcha.
So he's agreed not to speak.
Okay.
So as a result, or because of that, we have given him his award, which says Doing It with Styles Award, and it says
I don't always listen to internet radio.
You sound like Dracula.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
But when I do, I listen to VANR. Vegas AllNet Radio, the final frontier. This way I
quit.
don't. This way I don't.
That's it. I'm done.
No. This way he doesn't get insulted that he didn't have the opportunity to speak.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
Dos Equis. Okay, so
I don't always
here's my
drink
question.
When I do.
His tagline is "Stay thirsty, my friends."
Correct.
Okay, how can we relate that to listening?
Keep listening, my friends.
Stay listening.
Listen carefully, my friends.
There you. I like that.
Hey, every
Keep
now and
listening.
then. Well, keep listening, my friends.
So, if anybody I know does it with Styles, it's the most interesting man in the world.
Absolutely.
Because he doesn't always listen to internet radio.
But when I do,
I listen to
Vegas
VANR.
AllNet Radio.
VANR.
I can't wait to listen.
The
to
final
that.
frontier of free speech.
You just sounded like Tattoo for crying
Yeah,
out
you
loud.
really did. Or that guy that's looking for the. That is the guy that's looking for the.
That is the guy, Herman
Playing-
Belichez.
yes,
Come on,
looking
you
for the
dog.
play.
Oh, man. All right, so...
Yeah, you can tell it's the second hour.
Look,
Yeah.
do you mind if he sits in with us?
Can he
What's
sit?
that?
Can he sit in with
Yeah,
us?
he can sit and listen, but he can't
Well, he has
speak.
to
we know
stand and
he's not
listen. He
gonna
can't
speak.
sit.
Yeah, because we can't afford to pay him.
His
so-
tuxedo's a little stiff. He
Yeah.
can't sit.
Yeah.
He can't put any wrinkles into it.
Yeah. It's a rental.
I like the way they trimmed his beard though. It's pretty cool. I wish
All
I
right,
had,
let's-
wish I had his hair.
Go. Let's get us out of this one.
Please.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Let's move on.
listening to Doing It with Style exclusively on Vegas
AllNet Radio. Hey guys.
Hey, you know what time it is?
No.
Uh-oh.
Before that, guess what?
What?
I have a list.
Oh, I have that for later on.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Under the
save
banter
it.
section.
I was excited.
RTFP.
Read the frickin' page.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, the fact that I figured that out after a long day is amazing. All right, if you're celebrating a birthday today, May 28th, we want to wish you a happy birthday from all of us here at Vegas Unwrapped Internet Radio, and you're celebrating a birthday with these people!
We did have an attempt the first week that you weren't here with
Very poor attempt. I heard it.
No.
That was the
I have been quiet all night now. I have been very quiet.
Worst birthdays we've ever seen.
Then I got
nobody.
Then I got bitching. I was trying to maintain the show in its production sheet format
That was
I
the
that
second
was
week.
still on the board.
That
over
I
here.
spent my 5 or 6 minutes preparing before I went away.
Let me tell you something. That first week was such a disaster, and because of the birth. In all honesty,
Wait, I thought it was fun.
the first week there was not one birthday that anybody knew. We never even heard of the people whose birthday it was that night. It was disastrous.
And of course, you bring me when I called in that night. You bring me on right after Koji talks about baboons. Way to go! Thank you very much. All right, here's your first one, Mr. Cash. You're going to nail this one.
That's why he didn't call the second week.
That's right,
he
because I
fell
was
asleep.
pissed. You're going to nail this one.
Okay.
Seth Rollins is turning how old today?
Oh no.
Wrestler.
Oh yeah.
The current WWE World
Phony
Heavyweight Champion.
The phony champ.
Seth Rollins is turning how old today?
I'm going to say he's 34.
34.
39.
39.
He's 36 years of
Oh
age.
my God, you guys aged him. He's 29 years young.
No, I almost said 29.
From the
too.
Duck Dynasty, Jep Robertson. He's one of the sons. How old
I
is
don't
he?
care. I don't want to talk on. Move on.
Show got canceled here in
I know,
Vegas.
right?
Man.
That's
What
true.
a bomb that was.
That's right.
He's probably one of the Duggars in disguise.
Oh, God. Jeez.
47, sir.
47.
53.
53.
43.
Remember, he's only one of the sons.
Yeah, 43.
37. Way to go. Colby Calais, pop singer Colby Calais, is turning how old today?
28, sir.
28.
27.
27.
67.
30 would be the
He's
correct
starting
answer.
that again.
Jeez.
He's starting that again.
Singer Gladys Knight is turning how old?
She's a pip, you know?
She is.
Cut that midnight train one too many times, baby.
But I love that song.
73 years young, Miss Gladys is.
73.
69.
I think she might even be older than that. I'm going to go 75.
71, however, would be the correct answer. Football player Michael Orr is turning how old?
Michael Orr?
Michael or who?
Michael Orr who?
Mhm.
I like that. That's good, John. Every now and then.
Yeah.
Michael Orr is
Sometimes
27.
27. Movie Backside?
25.
Backside?
25.
I know.
It was his life story that was done.
That
How old?
side.
25.
25.
29.
29 would be correct, Mr. Bobcat.
Hey, Warren, a bobcat.
The Bobcats.
Politician Rob Ford is turning how old? Wasn't he he's the Toronto politician, I think.
Oh, my God. Not that guy.
I believe that's who
Christ.
it is.
Yeah, the mayor of Toronto.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that guy.
Yeah.
47.
47.
52.
52.
44.
44. How about 46, gentlemen? You were right around it. That is correct.
He's not having a good decade.
He's not. No, he is not. Come on, Paige. Keep scrolling back
You know,
for
if
me.
he was in this country, he'd be a Republican.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, as we brand the show.
You can send your emails and comments.
To Doing It With Style.
That's right. Here we go.
Facebook.
Facebook.
/
Retired basketball player and current NBA executive Jerry West is turning how old?
Ooh, Jerry, man.
82.
82.
76.
76.
78.
77, however, would be the correct answer.
I did the addition right, too.
Singer John Fogerty is turning how old?
And the Beaver Band, right?
Let me see.
68.
Beaver.
Keep on chugling.
Beaver Heart Band. Not Beaver Band.
Well, it was a Beaver Band.
And the sidekick Camel Toe. Go ahead. What?
John Fogerty is 60.
60.
67.
67.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said 68.
Oh, did you? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
68.
70 years old would be the correct answer, however.
And he still keeps on chugling.
And he still keeps on chugling. TV actress Krista Miller is turning how old?
Who is she?
I'll get you the details here as soon as the page flips. She was in the Drew Carey show. She played the friend. She played she played the friend of the Drew Carey show.
Yeah.
Who was trying to date not Ryan Stiles but the other guy.
43.
How old?
43.
43. Yeah, you weren't into sitcoms.
45.
45.
41.
51, however, would be the correct
really?
answer. Yeah.
Oh, Biddy.
Baseball player Johnny Peralta is turning how old?
You better get this one right, Cash.
Johnny Peralta. Is he the shortstop for the Cardinals?
I think now he is.
Okay. 31.
31.
33.
33.
29.
Give one to JPEG. 33 is the correct answer.
Wow. Jeez.
Football player Navarro Bowman, I believe he's with the 49ers, is turning how old today?
Oh, Navarro. I got that. He's 30.
No, he's not. He's 32.
32.
31.
How about 27, gentlemen?
Yeah, well.
There you go. Baseball player Craig Kimbrell is turning how old? He's a closer for the Braves.
No, he isn't.
He's a pitcher for the Braves.
No, he isn't.
According to the picture here.
He's wrong.
Who is he pitching for now?
It's the closer for San Diego Padres.
Oh, that's right. He got traded. All right. Go for it. That's
Craig
great.
Kimball is
Now tell me how old he is, smartass.
26.
23.
27.
27 is correct.
27. I knew it.
Politician Marco Rubio, who was in Vegas today, turned how old?
Did he announce his...
Yep.
He's still alive?
Yep.
I don't know.
Matter of fact, he appeared at the Pawn Stars store.
Yeah.
58.
58.
Did you say porn stars?
Pawn.
Oh.
Pawn.
Oh.
Not porn, but pawn. 58.
I got you.
I know. I'm waiting for these guys.
55.
55.
52.
44 would be the correct answer, however. How about TV show host Elizabeth Hasselbeck?
Oh, yeah. What's her? She used to be on The View and all that.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
That's right.
she's married to that washed-up quarterback.
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, Hasselback. Whenever.
Oh, that's right.
One
The
of the
Hasselbecks.
No, that's a halfback.
One is still playing. One is an ESPN commentator. I don't know which one she's married to.
45.
45.
50.
50.
46.
38. Gentlemen.
She looks 50.
38.
She don't look
Actor
good.
James Michael Tyler is turning how old?
Who is he?
He's a character actor.
He's an
I'll give you
actor.
his bio right now. Best known for his role. Oh, you're not going to know this one because you don't watch
Porn.
boy. Best known for his role as the coffee shop worker Gunther on the hit TV sitcom Friends.
Oh, how old is he?
Yeah.
51.
50.
44.
53, however, would be the correct answer. You guys were all around it again. Is Mr. Cash being shut out right now?
Yes, he is.
All right. I'm waiting for the list here. Hold on. It's scrolling back around. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Thank you.
You know,
very
the
much.
show's only 2 hours.
I know. What can I tell you? Last one, Mr. Cash. Sandra Locke, movie actress.
She played in a lot of movies with Clint Eastwood. A lot of the.
She was
the
married to
Cowboys.
Clint Eastwood for a while.
Right?
Wasn't
Wasn't
she?
she?
Yes, she
She
was.
didn't. Wasn't she with him with the any which way
Any
you
which
can?
way but loose.
Right.
Right.
She played a couple. She was married to him for a while, wasn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah.
The Gauntlet. Best one she was in with him. The Gauntlet.
The Gauntlet. Right?
Yes, the Gauntlet.
77.
77.
She can't be that old.
Sunset Strip.
63.
63.
65.
71, however, would be the correct answer, gentlemen.
Wow.
Mercifully, that does it for today's birthday list.
Oh,
Happy birthday once again to all of you celebrating birthday today from all of us at Vegas Unwrapped.
You bet. Get the heck out of here. What do you think about that guy?
Yes, keeping his lips closed.
I don't always have birthdays, but when I do, I
Celebrate every
I
day.
get a year older.
I blow out the candles.
I get a year old. All right, couple of dates in history just to tickle your fancy, Mr. Cash, to see if you can
Redeem myself.
redeem yourself a little bit. Let's see. What year did the Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Cranmer, declare the marriage of England's King Henry VIII to Anne Boleyn valid? Weren't you the best man at this wedding? Or were you the flower girl?
How cute. Henry VIII.
Henry VIII, I am.
I'm confused whether that was in the 13s or 16s. So I don't know. 1581.
What's the difference among centuries?
1581.
1632.
Well, which is it?
1581.
Are you sure?
No.
1632.
1533 is the correct answer.
Yeah.
What year did the Sierra Club get organized in San Francisco?
Thursday
Thursday of last week, right?
Sierra Club. That goes back, man. 1900.
1892 would be the correct answer.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's see. What year did President Franklin Delano Roosevelt push a button in Washington, signaling that vehicular traffic could begin crossing the just-opened Golden Gate Bridge in California? Neville Chamberlain also became the Prime Minister of Britain that same year.
1939. It's correct.
1937, however, is the correct answer.
No, it was 1939.
Not according to what I have here, fellas. I'm going with what I got.
Oh, yeah. Everything you read on the internet.
Ask
is
Abraham Lincoln. That's right. Last one. What year did comic actor Phil Hartman of Saturday Night Live and News Radio fame
man.
was shot to death at his home in Encino, California by his wife, Bryn, who then killed herself?
97, wasn't it?
Okay.
I'll go 2000.
1998 would be the correct answer. And mercifully, that does it for today's Dates in History.
Jeez.
Man, Mr. Cash, you
Yeah.
you zoinked tonight, man. All right. Well,
I hit him today with a historical fact that he didn't know.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Wow,
I can't.
we
say
can't
it.
discuss it.
Oh, we can't?
No.
All right. When we come back on the other side, Mr. Cash has a list
Yeah.
that he wants to share
Got
with
a
us.
good list.
Another list.
Another list.
Got some sports for you.
We'll do sports.
cool.
We'll do sports after the break.
The
as
Yankees
well.
are on top tonight, buddy. Yeah, the
I
Yankees.
know. They've won 3 out of their last 4. They swept Kansas. Oh, so 4 out of 5. They swept Kansas City. A-Rod passed Lou Gehrig yesterday for most RBIs in Yankee history.
Wow, that cheetah.
Can't believe that he actually gave him a uniform.
Cheetah, pumpkin eater.
You'll be back. We'll be back. All right, welcome back. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped on the all-new VegasAllNetRadio.com. Best shows, more variety. All right, before we go to Mr. Cash's list, we've been remiss in doing this tonight because we've just Richard Hatch and Monique. It's time for Vegas Unwrapped Sports Desk Update.
Let's do it.
Oh, boy.
Thanks, guys. Good evening, everybody. And quick look at sports. Not too much really going on. We already know Golden State and Cleveland are going to match it up for the NBA title. Major League Baseball, Baltimore and the Chicago White Sox split a pair in a doubleheader today. Cleveland and Seattle are just getting underway along with Pittsburgh and San Diego. The Dodgers are up 2-0 on Detroit. The Yankees are up 1-0 on the Athletics. And NASCAR this weekend, all 3 major series will make a visit to the Monster Mile in Dover. Camping World Trucks on Friday, the Xfinity on Saturday, and the Cup action gets rolling on Sunday. That's right there, the Monster. Guys, also this out, ESPN.com has got this source that is put down it. Patricia Driscoll, the former girlfriend of Kurt Busch, has been robbing money. That's right. She says 98% of all the donations to the Armed Force Foundation is there. 72% of the money's there. It's her own personal bank. Criminal charges are pending on this situation. That's a look at sports.
All right.
Wow.
I wish Bobcat would get excited on the sports
I know.
report.
You know,
he's
he's
just so withdrawn.
Yeah.
He does.
Wake us up.
All right, real quickly before you go to list. Golden State or Cleveland?
Well, we could discuss it more next Thursday.
Cleveland.
But I'll tell you what. It's hard to root against.
But you know, Cleveland's coming out an underdog,
Yeah, I know they are.
which I'm surprised.
I'm not at all. They won. Golden State won 67 games.
I know. I understand that, but still.
in a much tougher conference.
still.
I'm going to go Golden State in 7.
Wow. I heard Golden State in 6. I don't know. I want to root for Cleveland. I want to root for LeBron.
Oh, I want to root for LeBron too.
So, all right, very cool. All right, Mr. Cash has a list. Can we bring up some music in the background that's list-like? Yeah, just
A list,
something.
yeah, listless music.
Listless music.
All right, well, I'm just pulling what I can pull.
Yeah, just whatever you got there. A little instrumental
Well,
too.
let me give you an introduction to this.
Yeah, listen to the topic of the list. Maybe this will help you.
First of all, I don't always do lists, but when I do,
I don't
we're
always-
going to be doing.
I don't
this
always
stupid
read
thing.
lists, but when
You
I
know,
do, I read them at Dracula.
I don't always impersonate.
This
Sorry,
is
man.
very
I'm
appropriate.
sorry, I won't
for-
do that again. I
This is
apologize.
very appropriate for JPEG, myself.
Yes.
Not so much for you guys, but it's going to come,
But you're
guys.
coming up fast.
It's coming up fast because these are important facts.
Will you tell him the title so we can find music already?
Important facts to remember as you grow older.
Oh, boy. So what do we need? The theme from like 10 Commandments or something?
Na, 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 na,
How about just taps?
Taps would be a good one. You know why?
No, please don't.
The first one is death is the number one killer in the world.
I've heard that.
That
I
sounds
think
like
that was on Wikipedia.
that sounds like a casteism, if you ask
Yeah.
me.
Life is sexually transmitted.
Yeah, that's good.
Good health.
Thank God for that. Yeah.
Good health is merely the slowest possible rate at which one
Dies.
can die. Give a person a fish and you feed them for a day. Teach a person to use the internet and they won't bother you for weeks, months, maybe years. All right, here's a good one. I like this one. Health nuts are going to feel stupid someday, lying in a hospital, dying of nothing.
I
All right.
remember this list now.
All of us can take a lesson from the weather. It pays no attention to criticism.
There you go.
Now, this is really good. In the 60s, and you'll love this one, John, people took acid to make the world weird. Now the world is weird, and people take Prozac to make it normal. And finally, and this is a sobering fact, don't worry about old age. It doesn't last that long. And that's the latest
Oh, no.
from getting older. And as we said earlier
Oh,
in the
thank
show,
you. You made me feel so much
I was
better.
gonna
yeah,
say.
I bet you did. And as I said earlier, I don't always read lists.
Very
But
well.
when I do,
Very well.
But
Exactly.
when I do,
I read them weekly.
they really suck.
I read them weekly. Very
weekly.
That's right. Hey, here's news from Las Vegas, which is interesting, I think. Did you hear about this? That the Las
Great
Vegas
topic for this guy's show.
I know. I'm telling you. That's why I try to do these sort of things.
How come you weren't on Good Medicine this morning? They talked about depression. And after this show, all of us are going to be crying.
Because I wasn't asked to be on Good Medicine this morning. You were.
Hey, what are you talking about? I think we had a great day today.
Yeah, we did.
It was
Actually,
a
we
great
did.
day for the station. It was
Yes.
a great day. Yeah, all the way
Absolutely,
around.
no question.
Yes.
Las Vegas Strip Corridor Transportation Plan has people talking. Did you hear about this?
No.
You didn't hear about this? How about a double-deck tunnel under McCarran International Airport to carry cars, trucks, and possibly a light rail train to the Las Vegas Strip to possibly happen? Now, they're saying it won't be a slam dunk, obviously, but how about something like that? A subway under the Strip and then a subway between the Sahara and Hacienda Avenues.
In other words, a real underground.
Yeah. Like the Metro train in Washington.
Wow. I didn't think they could do that in the desert soil.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
They built underneath McCarran International Airport, didn't they?
Yeah.
The tunnel, the
Yeah, sure.
the connector.
They say there's all kinds of tunnels underneath this town that they built back in the days when they wanted to. There's tunnels leading to banks to get money to, and this and that.
Yeah,
so-
absolutely. Plus, after 5.4 earthquake last weekend, anything can happen in this town.
Yeah,
By the
they're
way,
all
did-
closed
did
now.
any- of
Facebook, I was reading that
Did
back
any of
east.
you feel
Facebook
it?
got
Like-
flooded.
Yeah.
We
crazy.
were sitting in John's office, all right? Robin comes flying out of her office, running down the hall like the world is ending,
Yeah.
right? She said, "Did you feel it? Did you feel it?" And we said, "No. Feel what?" She said, "There was an earthquake in my office."
She had fallen out of the chair.
That's oh man. Hey, but I just saw something here about UNLV, and I don't have the list in front of me, but they were doing over-unders for the Mountain West Conference football teams this year. Okay,
God.
here's what was announced for UNLV as the over-under.
3.
2.5.
Yeah.
2.5 is the official betting number for over-unders for UNLV this year.
Well, if I were a betting man, I'd probably go with the under.
Really?
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
Because they don't have the talent, or because of Tony Sanchez
No,
first year?
Tony Sanchez has surrounded himself with some really good, strong collegiate coaching, but they just don't have the talent.
Say
Not
that
yet.
again. Collegiate coaching.
Collegiate coaching.
That was
yes.
good.
Yeah,
I
they
was
do.
impressed.
But I don't think, their schedule is brutal, too. Next year they play Ohio State.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They're
great.
going to the shoe, man.
Yeah, we're
We're going to get stomped on. Is going to be the problem.
That's going to be sad.
Here's another.
I might fly back home for that game.
There you go. Did you hear about the woman? A 21-year-old Vermont woman was briefly hospitalized after being bitten by a black widow spider from a bag of grapes she purchased at Shaw's grocery store. The spider crawled up the woman's arm and bit her when she reached into the bag of grapes. Nurse confirmed the type of spider as a black widow.
I'm telling you, there's no more fruit in my diet.
You mean there was in the first place?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
But not and grapes. And you reach in, you do that,
Yeah, well,
right? I mean, they
Kinda.
come in the bag, and
Yeah.
you reach in to get them.
I suppose.
Jolly Ranchers are not fruit.
Neither of those gummy
They are
fish
fruit
you like.
flavored.
That's right.
I like those fish, those, Swedish fish.
Did you know that today was National Hamburger Day?
Let's go.
Hot dog.
Let's go. Hot dog.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly pull up the site here. Go ahead.
I saw this really cool thing on somebody's Facebook page about beer can burgers, and I got to find that.
You brought in your
Again.
penguin tonight, I see.
Oh yeah,
Mine flew in with me tonight too. I was
You
told
brought
to,
yours
I was
in?
told to bring it in.
Yeah, I'm going to bring mine in tomorrow.
Why are we bringing them in?
Because,
we're paying homage.
yeah, we're,
Paying homage?
Where's
We're paying
mine at?
Homage to Stella.
Yeah, she was supposed to set one up for Bobcat.
Yeah.
tell me how that works out.
I ate it.
No, I'm only kidding.
Oh my goodness gracious! Airlines are adding more seats to Las Vegas so that visitation numbers go up. Did you hear about that?
I heard that we had over 41 million last
That's
year.
right. That's right. The numbers keep going. Most of the nation's airlines are showing a renewed confidence in Las Vegas as a revenue-generating destination, adding seats to the market and boosting passenger visitation to McCarran International Airport in April by 4.4% over last year.
Wow.
April passenger counts at 3.8 million for the month, the highest year-over-year percentage increase since January of 2014. So people are coming back. All right. What else?
What do you think is bringing them here now? 'Cause, I mean,
Gambling.
there's always been the gambling, guys.
I think people are feeling more confident about going away.
and the economy is,
The economy
I think so.
returned.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it also has to do with more events out here, more things that are going on. I mean, April you had another 300,000 people come in for not April, but
For the
May.
fight,
Well, I'm thinking the fight at the beginning of the month,
which I
The
watched
Rock and-
while I was away, by the way.
and the Rock in Rio, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that was like
That bombed.
Yeah.
The Rock and Rio thing bombed.
Really?
Yes.
by what standards?
By what standard? I'll tell you. They
Not
were
by attendance
Yes,
standards.
that does. It was off almost 30,000 from what the initial attendance record for the rock show was looking at about 75 to 80. For the, I'll call it the lip sync show or the top 40 show, they were looking to push 80 to 85. The rock show only drew 35, and they got under 40 for the top 40 show. Beers were going for 14 to 14.50 a domestic.
I saw some of those
That's
signs.
not
That
the
was
numbers I heard.
ridiculous.
Well,
I heard over 150,000 attended combined attended both of those
number
concerts.
way off, man. I had a good friend of mine as a lawyer. Went 2 tickets, 2 sodas, 2 beers, and a hot dog. $750 is what he spent. 700. The tickets for the rock show were $200 a piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The
that
tickets
included
for
the price of the tickets.
Okay,
yeah.
and the price for the tickets for the Taylor Swift Bruno Mars were $250 a ticket.
Well, it's a good darn thing that Chick-fil-A is coming to Henderson, so you
Yes.
don't have to pay those prices.
Right.
All right, time for a step aside. We'll come back. We'll talk a few more topics, and then we'll get into some weird news. We haven't done that in a while.
No.
I read the second story on the list. I want that one.
You got it.
All right. You're All right, now that the longest commercial in history is over.
We move right along.
That was a long minute, wasn't it?
That was. Welcome back to the fourth turn
See
of
what
Vegas, or
happens
the
when
fourth
you're
quarter.
away?
I'm telling you. Listen,
It was like, let me tell you.
Coming down
we've
the
been,
home
We've been
stretch.
good friends, right, for a long time.
very long time.
I'm going to use one word for the three weeks. Chaos.
So you're saying that while the warden was away, the inmates played?
Oh
Is that
my
what you're saying?
Goodness.
We made it by that much.
Chaos reigned.
Hello, Chief. This is Max. All right, you know what? Let's go to weird news early.
Ooh,
Let's do it.
yeah, I love weird news.
Go for
This
it.
is the part of the show that I've missed for 3 weeks
Yeah.
because
Me too.
my arduous trip made me realize how screwed up things are, and I just want to know that people are still screwed up around the world. Hit it. Mr. Cash, you want to start us off?
Oh, yes, and this is a beauty.
Don't take my story.
No, but this is a beauty, so keep it alive when you're listening to this. Accused amateur serial tooth puller Philip Hansen, 56, was convicted on 2 counts in May following a trial in Wellington, New Zealand District Court. Several women had accused him during the 1998 to
read that year again.
1988 to 2011 of holding their mouths open and wriggling teeth out with pliers and, in one case, a screwdriver, motivated by his attraction to gummy women as a prelude to sex. He apparently also lauded the free service he was providing, since real dentists, he said, would have charged the women. Hansen allegedly told another woman with full dentures how beautiful she was as he was removing the plates, crushing them, and flushing them down the toilet.
Chomp on that one, will you? Well, here's another story under Can't Possibly Be True that'll just follow this one up so beautifully well. In April, WNBC TV in New York's investigation reported on a series of fetish parties in Manhattan, reportedly organized by a licensed MD. In which the consensual activities consisted of saline scrotal inflation, controlled near asphyxiation, and controlled arterial bloodletting, in which splatters are captured on a canvas as if made by a painter. An event organizer said the Cirque du Plaisir was more of a performance art display by a few body modification aficionados than it was a fetish party. Local governments were alarmed, especially by the blood splatters endangering onlookers, and promised an investigation.
Wow. Here's some timely information. Here's the first one. Joseph Foran, 21, with a .172 blood alcohol level, plowed into a pickup truck in April in Trumbull, Connecticut, though with no serious injuries. Police said Foran's cell phone on the seat still displayed the current text message, "Don't drink and drive, Dad."
There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, the ancient art of yoga is supposed to offer a path to inner peace, wrote the Wall Street Journal this past February, before launching into a report on how many yoga classes these days are so crowded that inner peace seekers are more likely than ever either to seethe throughout their session or to openly confront floor hoggers. Explained one coach, people who are practicing yoga want Zen. They don't already have it.
Got my ass kicked at a Zen yoga class, yeah.
Hey, did you know that in New York City, someone can be fired for being too nice?
No way.
Well, where else would you be fired in a city like that in New York? Doorman Ralph Body, 41, was dismissed from his job as an upscale New York City apartment building because he did too many favors for tenants. According to an April New York Post report, Body said he gave his life to the residents at the 27 on 27th Tower in Queens, but upper management thought such extra kindness violated building policy and ordered his dismissal despite a tenant petition.
Wow, that really sucks.
Just goes to show you don't want to hold the doors open.
Stay out of Hartford,
no
Connecticut,
good deed
guys.
ever goes unpunished.
No.
Listen to me.
Go ahead.
Stay out of Hartford, Connecticut.
All right.
When the chief auditor for Hartford, Connecticut finally got around to checking the finances of the police shooting range recently, he found that the range supervisor had bought 485,000 bullets per year, but was only using 180,000 and had no paperwork where the other bullets went. In one instance, the supervisor acknowledged having bought 94,500 rounds of .45 caliber ammo 2 years after the department stopped using .45s and switched to .40 caliber weapons. But his story was that he needed the .45 caliber bullets so he could trade them for .40s. I think there's a militia growing there in Connecticut, and you better watch out, folks. Look out, Yale.
Hey, New World Order. Millions of sports fans draft their own fantasy sports teams.
This is true.
And even the bass fishing tournament circuit has its own fantasy league where fans select anglers good at exploiting choice spots on the lakes. In March, Alaska Dispatch News reported that for the fourth straight year, there would be an Iditarod Fantasy League with a salary cap of $27,000 to pick 7 mushers with the best chance to push their dogs to victory, with All-Stars going for around $6,000 and promising rookies selling for much less.
Here's some fine points for the law. John Deere became the most recent company in America to claim that, though a buyer may have paid in full for a device, he may not actually own it.
Uh-oh.
Deere claims that because its tractors run on sophisticated computer programs, the ostensible owner of the tractor cannot tamper with the software without Deere's permission, even to repair a defect or to customize its operation. Already, traditional movie videos may come with restrictions on copying, but the Deere case, according to the April report on Weird.com, might extend the principle to machinery not traditionally subject to copyright law.
Hate when that happens.
Me too.
Listen, we try to believe in cultural diversity and everybody should be equal. Well, here's one for you. This past March, there was an arranged marriage ceremony in Kanpur, India. It was about to start when cousins of the bride, whose name is Lovely, daughter of Mohar Singh, commandeered center stage and demanded that the groom, Ram Baran, answer the following question. What is 15 plus 6? Baran answered, 17. And in short order, Lovely and her family began to drift out of the room, and the marriage was off. Eventually, according to a Times of India report, the family settled the fiasco amicably, with all gifts being returned.
Wow.
See, so listen here, you students. Don't drop out of math class.
Yeah, really.
Unbelievable. Let's go back to a classic.
All right.
March 2011, and I think we might have read this one, Aaron. You're not going to like this.
Uh-oh.
One NPR's Robert Krulwich, about to deliver a February 2011 story about a visionary robotics developer, James Uga and Jimmy Luzio, who created a carnivorous clock, supposedly able to power itself for 12 days, merely on the carcasses of 12 dead houseflies.
No, what?
Which the clock traps with flypaper and then mechanically raises in two. The pair also showed a prototype of a coffee table that catches mice by luring them up the table legs with cheese into a hole in the center where they are guillotined. Auger and Luzo said their creations are just extensions of TV nature programs showing animals hunting in the wild. But Krulwich fretched about the dangers inherent in giving robots a taste for meats.
He Frenched?
He fretted.
Oh,
fretted.
You fracking fricker.
Oh, my Lord. How many minutes do we have left there, Bobcat?
Too many.
2 minutes?
Too many.
Please signal went through.
Mercifully, that does it for News of the Weird.
Whoa, thank you very much.
Holy cow. Holy cow. No, the holy cow is right, for crying out loud.
And my apologies go out to anyone in the studio or in the building that I may have inadvertently
We don't always frighten people.
But when we do, contact John.
Oh, my
JPEG
Lordy,
Styles.
Lordy. Oh, my goodness. Well, fellas, listen.
See, someone once told me my sense of humor was going to get me in trouble. I think it did tonight.
You think it did tonight for sure.
Yep.
It's good to be back in the fold.
You try to collect the check.
Jeez. Good to be back in the fold with y'all, back in studio, and man, what an odyssey. Big thanks to Richard Hatch for joining us earlier in the show. If you didn't catch the interview, do check it out on...
I thought he was going to say big thanks to Ricky Cash for filling in so admirably while I was gone.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Look, we've told him we don't want him lying.
That's right. We like him for his honesty. All right. Have a great week, everybody. Catch us Tuesday, 3 to 4 on Spotlight on VANR next Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. right here. And all the great shows. Mr. Cash, be kind to each other. Why is that, gentlemen?
We are all we have.
All we got.
Have a great week from Vegas Unwrapped.
Either that or we're stuck with each other.